Happy Twin Tuesday!
Happy Twin Tuesday! Whoop, whoop.
Who are we?
I'm Dr. Johanna.
I'm Dr. Madeline.
And we are awesome chiropractors.
We're awesome chiropractors at Atlas Chiropractic Center in St. Petersburg, Florida. What do we do there?
Well, we do all kinds of awesome things, but our jam is pregnant mamas and postpartum moms and their families.
Yeah, and as you're hopping on, say hey, drop some emojis down, and if you're hopping on the replay, definitely tag or say replay down below so we make sure we catch you. We appreciate all of y'all who tune in and watch. Absolutely. And help support us and help support empowering other people in their healthcare choices.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're excited to be here today, bring some positivity and some healthy light to your life.
What are we talking? So, okay, we're gonna talk about some stuff today.
We're just gonna bust through some myths about chiropractic, what some people think. In addition, how our office works and how we try to manage new patients or current patients when they come in regards to their health and knowing that they have a choice in what they decide to do and trying to honor that choice, but also be the best doctor and give them the best recommendations possible and meeting in the middle where it works for everybody.
So, I don't know, whoever's watching on this, you can tell us if you've had this experience, if you're catching a replay, then let us know down below. I've heard this across the board by several people, whether they are friends who've tried chiropractors who aren't us and they won't come try us because of this, or other people who will call and ask us questions, but they had this experience or whatever. So I've heard this so many times that we have to talk about it, where somebody goes into a chiropractor's office, they sit down for their consultation exam, they talk to the chiropractor then talks to them about a plan of action, frequency of how many times they should be there to work on their problem, and of course financially what that looks like. In most offices you go in will definitely have some sort of discussion like this.
Yeah.
And it comes out to being like, you have to be here 3 times a week for, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months, 12 months, and you're gonna
your whole life,
it's gonna cost you easily $5,000, and that patient leaves. And you never hear from them again. They never call you. They'll be the ones who we occasionally will find on some platform and we're talking to, and we suggest we'll have you looked at maybe chiropractic as a choice. It sounds like that's something you're looking for, but they've had this experience in the past, and they're like, yeah, I went to a chiropractor once. They told me you have to be here 3 times a week, and it's going to cost you at least $5,000. So I won't go back. Have you heard this before?
I just actually was seeing someone yesterday in the office, and she was so kind and she recommended us to one of her coworkers, I think, and this person apparently has had back pain for over a month, and he was like, no, I won't go to a chiropractor because I heard once you go, you have to go forever, which if you're a chiropractor watching this, this is one of the most common things that we hear a lot. And I don't think that should even be out there or a thing that people say, because
you go to your normal doctor all the time.
Well, you do go to your normal doctor and you'll go to your dentist and all that stuff like that, and I'm gonna get adjusted for the rest of my life, but that doesn't mean that that's your journey and that's your path. But one thing I will say that I try to really pride our office in, so both of us, is that when we sit down and we talk to you about what you have going on, it is our job as doctors to give you the best recommendations on what you have going on and how to get you better as quickly as possible. But we're going to have a discussion about those things. So if I'm talking to you and your biggest fear is that if I talk to you, I'm going to tell you you have to come in forever, we're just going to find your immediate goal. Are you in pain? You want to get out of pain? Let's talk about that, and then we'll go from there if there should be any sort of continuation in care, because it has to be what works for you based on what recommendations we're giving as well. So I want to make sure that makes sense. It doesn't mean you don't have to come forever. Those are not even going to be the first recommendations that we would give you, because that's probably not what's necessary when you're coming in the office first and foremost. You're coming in for a reason.
Most people come in for a specific reason when they start at an office like ours that they walk into. It's not normally because they know chiropractic is great and they want to be under wellness care. That usually comes further down the line. But again, it's still a choice. So that's what we always encourage everyone watching this, every single patient in our office. If you follow the podcast that I do, we always put out there, this is to help encourage you or empower you on your healthcare journey, which means you are part of your healthcare journey. You get to hire your doctor, you get to fire your doctor, you get to ask questions, you get to discuss like things that are going to work for you or that you're comfortable with versus not, those type of things. So finding a provider that's going to be a part of that journey with you. So,
well, I think that's important while you're gearing up for your next thing, because we do talk about a lot how you can hire and fire your healthcare provider. You are an active role in the health choices that you make, and it is the job of medical professionals, no matter if it's a chiropractor, a dentist, a medical doctor, a surgeon, to give you the best recommendations based on their experience and what you have going on. And we talk to you about that as far as like outside of a chiropractic world all the time, like finding that provider that works for you.
Right.
We're the same way.
Yeah.
We're still helping guide you, but you have a choice in your health decision. If you don't feel like it fits your lifestyle or this or that, then you have to find someone that works with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because it breaks my heart to hear that person has been in pain for a month, because I know that like if they would have come in right when this happened, or even now, it's going to take less time to get them better than if they wait another month and then maybe they trust to come into the office or something like that. So getting immediate care can help speed up their process too. So you do spend less time in the office overall.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just time and place, right? Like we have, I'll be transparent. I know I have worked in an office that is like the one that we described in the description, where I'm throwing like big ideas at you on like what your care needs to look like, and we don't budge. And we're like, sorry, we are the doctor. This is what it looks like. If this isn't what you're going to do, you leave our practice. And there's a whole great learning experience within that. And nobody's perfect, and part of this process of practicing is becoming a better provider. Hopefully that's who most doctors want to be. I know that's how we want to be, is we always want to continue to learn and grow and be there with you in this process. I am much different now. Look, if you walk into my practice and it was hard, but as a doctor, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're telling you, we're still going to give you the best. We're still going to give you our recommendation by all means. And honestly, I'm not going to lie to you that some people's recommendation does look like you're going to have to be here for 3 times a week for 3 months. Then we're going to check in, and then we can probably decrease your frequency, and we're going to do it this gradual way. And there is a monetary investment within that. But with that being said, that doesn't mean that that's where the buck stops in our practice. We'll always give you the best case or the best recommendations, but it's always a discussion we have with you on, is that doable for you? Do you feel comfortable with that? Is that something you can actually do? Because at the end of the day, if you're not getting help and your problems aren't being fixed, then what good am I doing?
Well, right, and that brings it back to that you're your own health advocate, and it's your body, your choice. So those recommendations are very, very important, but finding a common ground that you feel comfortable with is as well. Because in the reality of it too is like, some care is better than no care in that regard. Like if you are in pain, coming in and getting that taken care of immediately will help you thrive and live better than saying just not getting it taken care of and letting it grow and become more of a problem. And all of these things can happen that make it more time invasive, more financially invasive later to fix it. And we don't want that for you either.
I would say one like scenario, because of our main population that we see, we're really good with our pregnant postpartum mamas, and we love serving your whole families, but all that process, I would say that we see this a lot in that population.
Yeah.
Look, and you can definitely speak more on this. We get it. You're pregnant. So if you're seeing us through your pregnancy, you're also seeing another provider. You're seeing your birth provider during that time.
Or you're seeing like multiple providers.
And
like
you have different
depending on what your plan and your birth plan is and what you got going on.
You might still be working. You have different doctor's appointments. This may not be your first baby, so you maybe have a toddler or another child at home that you're caring for as well. Your time is limited. Your stress, can be higher. Financially, we know that bringing baby earthside and preparing for that and knowing that you are going to have time afterwards to recoup and connect with yourself and your family and your baby sometimes can take a financial hit on you. Maybe you're not working during that time and that type of thing. So when a mom comes in and maybe they are in pain or something like that, if I need to see them 3 times a week ideally, but they just can't get there, I'm going to meet her where she's at. I'm going to ask her, again, we're always going to talk to you and ask what's actually realistic for you as well, because I'm not there to add more onto your plate. We're there to help you through that process, to get you relief, to get you on a better track that you're looking for, but where it's going to work within that. So maybe you can't come 3 times a week, but maybe you're like, hey, I can definitely give you 2 times this week and 2 times next week, and then we can check in. that's still going to get you further than not doing anything at all. So
yeah. 110%, and I'll just jump on that with the pregnancy and the postpartum stuff too. It's like it changes your world, as you know, if you've been through it or if you're about to go through it, you'll realize very soon. And it's hard to do certain commitments to time during that process, especially for someone like me that is, I respect people's times and that kind of stuff. So I want to make sure that if I commit to something, I can actually be there and I can actually do it. And you're going to be stressed. Your body's going to be stressed through that process. Some, again, is going to be better than none. And it is our job to obviously talk about ideal recommendations and what would get you best as quickly as possible. But as long as you're willing to have that conversation and know that, like, this is what's going to be as quickly as possible, this is another option, this is option, where do you fit and how that works for you, we can help guide you through that process and set realistic expectations along the way.
And we will tell you if maybe something that's discussed just won't get you to where you want to be. Like, we're going to tell you that because it's our job. It's our job to tell you that. We're not going to also set you up for failure either. So
because you would be mad, I would be mad, we all would be frustrated, and that's not a good scenario either.
I agree. So let's talk, I think, a little bit more too, because you had mentioned it in the beginning. So, so not only have we all been in the scenario, or we've seen or heard from people, you know, I walked into that office, they really didn't listen to what I was looking for. I know they gave me their recommendations, but like that was it. It was like that was my only option, or I couldn't be part of that practice. So I never want to go back to a provider that does that to me again. All chiropractors must be that way. So we'll talk about that in a second. But there's good and bad out there in all things. This is definitely personality driven. Like, we meet with you, you become part of our family when you're in our office. And as much as like we love our people, we're just not everybody's jam, and we get that. So making sure that you actually like your provider that you're with and you feel respected and heard. And if not, knowing that doesn't mean there's not a provider out there for you, because more than likely there is. We just have to find them.
Well, I think that's essential, and that's like a little golden nugget right there, is that like even if we're not the right fit for you, there could be someone out there that is. So like if you have had a bad experience, like I also heard again the other day from another patient that like, oh, well, my friend is still in pain. They went to a chiropractor, but they didn't have a good experience. So they said they'd never go back. And it's like, well, you know, the old thing, like, well, I have had a really bad haircut before, or I've had a really bad teeth cleaning before, but I still go back, not to the same people. I just find someone that fits my journey better and that I mesh with better and that I'm comfortable with. So I hope that even part of this is that at least it helps open up and change some perspective, that like if you feel that way, but you haven't ever interviewed different chiropractors and tried other ones out, you may want to, because you could really benefit and it could change your life and your health and wellness and how everything's going if you were just with the right fit for you. And ultimately, and I have told this to people and I wholeheartedly mean it because I want the best for you guys, if you're under care somewhere, I'm happy. If you need care and you're under care and it's not in our office, at least, and you're happy with the care you're receiving, awesome. Yeah. That's it.
That's
awesome.
So yes, and then I had a fleeting thought, so now it's gone. But other thought too that I did want to touch on again that we mentioned before we like wrap up for today is the other top thing that we hear kind of within this like frequency and price point is also like, well, if I go to the chiropractor, I'm going to have to go to the chiropractor forever. I just want to put that out there, and look, we're going to show you two sides of it. Again, we're talking to you and meeting you where you're at when you're coming to our practice. We have people that come from all spectrums or on all sides of it. Some people only want to use chiropractic care like they would like a Tylenol or something like that, just for that symptomatic relief. And we have time and space in our office for you if that's how you choose that you want to use chiropractic care. We have some people who just love chiropractic care being part of their wellness routine, helping keep them well. They don't necessarily want to wait until something pops up to deal with it. We have time and space and love in our office for them as well, for both sides of that. So finding an office, again, that fits you depending where you're at within that. Because at the end of the day, like, again, we're here to empower you and to help you through that process. I would still much rather, if you want a non-drug, non-injection, non-steroid, non-surgical option to your pain, and chiropractic be that, but you only pop in when you're in pain, that's still, if you're looking to avoid those other things, it's still a better option than me being like, you have to be here forever.
It's less wear and tear on your gut than taking some of that stuff. I mean, you're decreasing your risk of addiction if you are on like some of the hardcore stuff like opioids. So it is an option. I know sometimes it is hard to find providers that will just see you for that flare-up that you have going on. But like Dr. Mountain said, there's time in the schedule, and we try to accept everyone on where they're at in their health and their wellness journey, and those recommendations will be different based on what you do have going on, but we're open to having a conversation and hearing where you're at and what your goals are, so we can find the best fit for you, because we do have different options. Like, we're trained professionals, like we can meet you all across the board.
Yeah. So that's the main point, because I know we get that a lot. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say real quick is, well, I've been going to my chiropractor. It actually is worse. Like, a lot worse. And they just do the same thing, and they don't even listen to me when I walk in. You hire your doctor, you fire your doctor.
Yeah.
If you're not being heard, if you're
happy,
if you feel like they're not listening or not even taking the time to readdress what's going on, maybe explaining to you during that healing process on why maybe this is getting worse.
Because that can happen.
It can happen.
That's a different,
absolutely,
day, but
absolutely it can happen.
But they should be talking to you about that, and you should be feeling comfortable with the discussions that you're having along the way and what you are experiencing.
Don't ever feel stuck just because you're in an office and you're not even happy you're getting the results that you want to, because in our office we're very transparent about, like, when we do set you up on a care plan or like finances and things like that. Can't speak for all offices by any means, but if you're not happy and we're not getting you the changes, I'm not going to make you stay there. I'm not going to hold you hostage. We're going to get you to at least point in a better direction. If we can find that other provider for you, whether it's another chiropractor, whether it's a PT, whether it's an acupuncturist or something like that, to get you where you need to go to get to that end result.
Yes, and we have tons of referrals across the board in different like avenues for that. And also, like, one thing to consider, just like when you're researching a hairstylist or something like that, like, people do all kinds of different things and they're good at some things and whatever. Chiropractors are the same way. Across the board, usually chiropractors are really good at pain relief and that kind of stuff. But then there are like these little nuggets, right, that they're better at, or that they spend more time training, or there's something that this person may do in their office that this person doesn't do. And we try to also have those other chiropractic providers and know what they're really good at. So like, if you need something our office this does not offer and that's what you need to get better, we're gonna let you know.
So just know, if you've walked into an office and you've heard that before, but that was like where the buck stopped, probably wasn't the right office for you.
Yeah, we just want to encourage you to
be well, ask questions, find the right provider for you. Know that you could walk into an office and get that. You could walk into our office and that could be our best recommendation for you, but know in our office as well, we're still going to meet you where you are and figure out what's the plan of action that's going to get you to your results, still with what you feel comfortable with as well.
Yep.
Anything else you want to hit on that?
No, I think we did it. We did the thing.
We did the thing. Awesome. So if you have any questions, either message us or drop them in the comments and we'll go back and read them and respond to you. Again, thank you for being here. We love all of y'all. I'm so glad that you show up and support us.
Absolutely.
And if you know of anybody who is looking for those non-drug options and they're just not sure where to go, or maybe they walked into a chiropractor and heard this and it wasn't the right fit, and you think maybe we are, or you're not sure, we do phone consultations for free. So we do give you, I think it's a 20-minute consult that we can do for free as well. So no monetary value there. You can see if we're your jam. If you mesh with us in that
20-minute time frame or not.
Just always here to help. So until next Tuesday.
Stay well.
Bye.